positions. And the conclusion of the science editor was that there was scant evidence that
Mr. Bensinger, I think the
marijuana
problem
was
is
safe or
both sides use
effective.
this kind of science.
Well, I want to just finish.
The real issue here, is, if I may say, is not even the science, it's the people. You have a doctor on, you have Julie on, you have other people who say this product works for them. Now, if a doctor can tell me that I should go take OxyContin and have to lay in bed for hours drugged up and perhaps take an overdose, if a doctor can also say to me, this product will help you, take it. No one in the history of the world has ever died from an overdose of marijuana.
Bensinger, we're going to have to cut it off here.
Anna,
There's so
one
much
last
to say.
thing.
Right,
I want to talk
thought
about the workplace, because this bill would destroy workplace drug safety, because it allows people to work with marijuana in their system, not using the drug testing programs that are in place throughout this country and throughout Illinois.
Gentlemen, we're going to have to stop the debate right there, because you both passionately believe in your points, and it's great to hear the real solid facts on this issue. I think there's a lot of misinformation on this issue, so we want to thank you both for participating in this debate, and hopefully you'll have another opportunity to do so. We want to shift the debate to talk about, though, another important reality about this bill, the possible payoff. Quite literally, Illinois is $13 billion in the hole. Could the state cash in on legalizing marijuana? They're doing it in California, where last year medical marijuana dispensaries generated $1.3 billion in sales. The state sales tax on that, $105 million. Meantime, in Massachusetts, medical marijuana is not legal, but a study by a Harvard economics professor reveals that if it were, it would save law enforcement nearly $30 million a year. So it does save money, according to them. Mr. Bensinger, do you think that it would help free up some of the...
Absolutely not. Anna, cigarettes are taxed. The social cost of cigarettes, according to the Center for Disease Control, are $7 a pack. We get $1 federal tax. We get 81 cents for the state. But the social costs of smoking are tremendous. And marijuana has 60% more cancer-causing agents than a cigarette, and 4 times the tar. This isn't going to be, this is going to cost money, accidents on the highways, police costs picking people up, and health costs that will be astronomical.
Thank you, Mr. Bensinger. We want to thank you for giving us, we want to give you the final thought, because we did give Representative Lang the first chance to speak. So thank you both again.
Thank you, Anna.
It is your turn to sound off. We hit the streets, and here's what you're telling us.
If it helps you feel better and eases your pain in some way and it's not hurting anyone else, I don't see why it's like any other medicine.
I'm undecided about that. It would save a lot of money, a lot of problems.
While medical marijuana is legal in Oregon, some say it's not enough and that the U.S. needs to change its opinion of the drug. Today, pot activists rallied at Pioneer Courthouse Square, calling for new laws to make lighting up legal for everyone. Groups came out with the goal to educate and change minds regarding marijuana legalization and using hemp for industrial purposes. They also say they even have support from law enforcement.
The majority of police don't want to waste their time or effort on arresting peaceful, nonviolent marijuana smoke. What we're going to do is separate the market from the hard drugs and try to protect children by making sure that it only goes to those over 21 in state-controlled stores.
This is the 11th year for the rally, and more than 300 cities worldwide held similar marches today. Activist groups say they hope to get pot legalization on the next election ballot.
Welcome, everyone. I'm Roger Christie, the founder of the Hawaii Cannabis THC Ministry. We're here on the bayfront in beautiful downtown Hilo, Hawaii. We're in the Moses Building, this historic old Moses Building in downtown Hilo. It's built in approximately 1934. And I've been happy to be here as a tenant for almost 6 years this coming month. I've been the founder of the ministry and the administrator, the leader of it, for almost the last 10 years. We think the nation is big enough to accept the THC ministry doing our sincere ministry duties. And those include providing services and sacraments. We provide services, ministry services like membership, education, counseling, weddings, funerals, baptisms. We provide cannabis sacraments, and we're happy to do so. And it's a sacred thing to us. I think that I'm a legitimate, exempt ministry that's operating with integrity in my community and exercising our religious freedom. to get high with cannabis as our religious sacrament. I felt very supported by law enforcement. I felt that I'm on good terms with politicians and policymakers and most of my neighbors as well. And even though somebody is doing something legal, which I think what we do here is legal, it always helps to be a good neighbor. Now, what's happened recently is this past week, the Internal Revenue Service and the DEA and local police raided, let's use the term raided, my home and woke my lover and I up from a sleep almost at dawn. About 12 people, I think, agents from the federal and state and local government showed up. They had search warrants for my home and the ministry and both of our vehicles. And they were looking for evidence of ill-gotten gain, I guess. They're wondering if I'm getting too big for my britches, so to speak, and if I've exceeded the legitimacy which I thought was in place. So I'm happy to, I was very compliant with the search warrant, happy to be cooperative, because I feel like I have nothing to hide. And so there was no struggle. It was very welcoming in some ways. Fully respectful actions on the part of law enforcement. It actually made me proud of them, actually. Other locations were raided as well simultaneously that morning. It was a very big coordinated effort by law enforcement. We heard some of the agents and lawyers and accountants that came were from California even. So they came quite a ways to make a show of force here. No one was arrested, thankfully. We're grateful for that. Some things were confiscated, and of course each of us that had things confiscated want them returned safely and promptly. So we're looking forward to taking legal action in the very near future to make that happen. We've been getting a lot of publicity in Colorado lately because we have a ministry in Boulder, because I'm from Colorado, and because the need for cannabis is so great, and not everybody qualifies for medical use. So the THC ministry can welcome everybody else that's over 21. And a young man, Trevor Douglas, was ticketed, not arrested, ticketed in Colorado for possession in his automobile last year. He was not a member of the THC ministry at the time, although I had met him one time. So he knew of me, he knew of our ministry, and he got a lot of publicity in the New York Times, Associated Press, many, many locations around the globe, actually. And the THC ministry got a big bump of publicity, and we were happy to get that, of course, but it wasn't true that Trevor was a member at the time he was stopped. He has since become a member. He wanted to become a member. He contacted me, and I gave him an honorary membership because of his courage, really, and speaking out for his rights and his sincerity. Sincerity is the way you get into the THC ministry. You have to be sincere. How does that get measured? Good manners and respect. And I felt that Trevor had good manners and respect for authority. He was fighting his case in a forthright manner. That's the type of person I want in the THC ministry. That's the type of young man, young person that I want to help. And so we were happy to counsel with Trevor. Unfortunately, he lost his case, but I think part of the reason he did lose was he was not a member at the time of the incident. So we wish him well. It was just a media coincidence and a spiritual coincidence that publicity came at the same time our raid came. We're standing for religious freedom, using cannabis in private, at home or church, and it's a blessed, beautiful thing. I look forward to getting a clean bill of health from the federal government and from the IRS, and then carrying on our ministry activities probably on a higher level of activity. So this raid could really lead to great things for the ministry, and I'm really looking forward to it and grateful to open and operate here in Hilo and help our neighbors and on the Big Island in any way we can with our services and our sacraments.
I'm a doctor.
I'm a lawyer.
I'm a journalist.
I'm a student.
I'm a teacher.
I'm a representative.
I have cancer.
The outdated laws of prohibition are more dangerous than the plant itself.
I lost my scholarship.
I was fired.
20 million arrests since 1965. This is getting ridiculous.
Our prisons are overcrowded with non-violent offenders.
We have the opportunity to change.
This is costing our country billions of dollars.
Making my family and I fight in a courtroom is difficult enough when I'm already fighting through chemotherapy.
There's no reason to be scared by tradition anymore.
We can stop this. We can stop this.
We are the American people. We can stop this, and you have our support. We're old,
Young,
straight,
gay.
we're every race and nationality.
And we're not going to give up.